dawn, but I still lie awake, tired and alone. And it's 6 in the morning, so I try to start my day, but all these sunny skies still turn to gray. I'm waiting for the morning light, 'cause I can't sleep tonight.
BuddyPress. I'm going to show you in this video why BuddyPress is awesome and why it's even more awesome when you take it and you combine it with s2Member Pro. BuddyPress is a social networking platform. It's a plugin for WordPress. You can get it at wordpress.org. It's designed for a site where you want members, but you also want the members to be able to interact with each other in many different ways. And BuddyPress provides a lot of options and a lot of what they call components for a social networking platform. Great piece of software. However, BuddyPress and WordPress together on their own serve as more of a platform in that they're frameworks for what they expect you to do is add plugins. That's what they expect. So these two pieces of software are designed for additional things to be added in whenever you want to achieve certain other types of functionality. For instance, there's no way in a WordPress BuddyPress default installation to be able to control specific areas of the functionality where you're guarding access to those areas, and certainly no way to charge for them. That's where s2Member Pro can come in, fill that gap, and you have the potential to make a lot of money and have a really powerful, very community-oriented website. However, I've done a video on this in the past. One of the questions I've gotten as feedback on the videos I've done before is about the overlap between BuddyPress and s2Member. s2Member is a membership solution packed full of features for membership, as is BuddyPress. Actually, BuddyPress is more focused on social networking components, whereas s2Member is focused more on the membership and e-commerce aspects. So not a ton of overlap, certainly not enough where you have any bloating, going on, but there is a little bit. And so the questions that I've gotten in the past are about how to, what the logistics are, setting these two up together to run smoothly, how you configure these two plugins so that everything is running right, and you're future-proofing the site, and you're not going to have any problems. You're not going to be sorry that you set up something a certain way, a month down the road. So I'm going to show you that in this video because I've developed kind of my own methodology for how I combine these two plugins together. So I'll show you that. There's a lot of ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way that I have done it in the past. Okay, the first thing I do on a BuddyPress s2Member installation is I go into my s2Member general options, which I'll show you in just a moment, but I go into those options and I turn open registration off. So if you notice here in the top left-hand corner, normally if free registration were allowed, then I would have a register button here. Well, I don't, and I actually turn it off even if I'm going to allow open registration. And in this site, I am. But I turn that off for a couple of reasons. One of them is because a lot of the BuddyPress themes, this is the default theme. And it impacts this theme too, but it impacts a lot of custom BuddyPress themes even more. If you turn open registration off, it allows you to gain a lot more control over how registration will occur if and when you do allow it. The way I allow a free registration, when I do allow it on a site like this, is I turn it off, and then I override that setting by using an s2Member Pro form. So this is a tab that leads to just a WordPress page that I created, and in that WordPress page I used an s2Member Pro form shortcode. Alright, so this is really nice because now I don't have to use, you notice my slug here is register. Normally on a BuddyPress install, BuddyPress controls registration. Well, not when I combine these two together. I let s2Member handle that. I let it handle registration, I let it handle any checkout that I'm doing, and I never configure profile fields with BuddyPress either. If I'm going to add profile fields or checkout fields, like for example, these are all 3 custom fields that I added, I do that with s2Member, and I'm going to show you why later in this video. But that's 2 tips right off the bat. Turn off open registration and set up, if you're going to allow open registration, do it with s2Member with a free registration pro form, and then any profile fields that you're going to create, do that with s2Member. And again, I'm going to show you this in just a moment. Okay, on the flip side, we're in the dashboard here. Let's take a quick look. s2Member general options, open registration, I turned it off. That's what I suggest to do. Now, you can leave it on, but just follow me along in this video This is a specific methodology that I use. You can change it up if you want to. However, let's show this real quick also. Open registration off here. Now, in your BuddyPress settings, let's go over to BuddyPress, go to settings. Actually, no, it's pages. You'll see that BuddyPress normally wants you to set up a register page. What I do is I go ahead and create a new page, and I just give it the slug BP register. All right, so if I go here and look at my pages, and I create it so that BuddyPress is satisfied. I create the activation, which I never use. I call it BP activate. I just label it unused. This is just to satisfy BuddyPress, and I do the same thing with the register page for BuddyPress. I give it the slug BP register. Okay, then whenever I'm going to allow open registration, I create another page, and I use the slug register for that page, and I put in an s2Member Pro form shortcode to handle free registration. So that's what you were looking at just a moment ago, my own custom free registration form, and I gain control over that through s2Member to set up profile fields, registration fields. s2Member gives a lot of more control over the way custom fields work than you will get with BuddyPress. That is why I suggest using s2Member for that specific functionality on the site. Okay, why s2Member for the profile fields or the registration fields? Well, there's a couple of reasons here. Let me show you. First of all, you're not losing any functionality by using s2Member for that particular aspect, because s2Member is pre-integrated with BuddyPress templates. It doesn't matter which BuddyPress theme you're using. When you create custom fields, these three particular custom fields were created by s2Member, but you can see this is a BuddyPress. This is part of the BuddyPress functionality, and they appear right here. So s2Member is going to integrate these for you. The same thing for editing those fields. Your customers or your members can do that right here just like they normally would if you had created these in BuddyPress. So why s2Member? The reason is because when it comes to checkout or the registration forms, you gain a lot more control over which fields are going to be shown during registration, during checkout, whether it's paid or for free. So let's take a look at the dashboard, how you actually set this up. So in the dashboard, users profile fields. This is what comes with BuddyPress to create the profile fields. I don't use this, not when I'm running s2Member. Okay, what I do instead is I go to s2Member General Options, and if I want registration, custom registration and profile fields, then I use s2Member for that, and you can see I've added those three we were just showing. I did that with s2Member. And there's a lot of control here. You can control them at specific levels. You can tell whether they're required, or you can specify whether they should be required or not. Let's see, you can set up a format, you can validate them with certain things. A lot of control here. You can apply them only to specific membership levels. You can control whether it's going to be seen during, before, after registration. For example, this one would be invisible during registration, so it would only be a profile form, not included during the registration itself. Okay, that's really helpful a lot of times because maybe I want customers to check out and I don't want to ask them to fill out a specific field, but I do want that field to be available in their profile. So if they go in and they want to get more elaborate, for example, if I'm asking them to write something about themselves, anyway, you get the idea. There's some flexibility here, and that is why I choose to use s2Member, because I'm using s2Member for registration, for free registration when I offer it, and I'm certainly using it for checkout, and where I use pro forms, and these all integrate with that, and they integrate with BuddyPress. Now, in order to get them to integrate, like what we were just looking at, where I was looking at the BuddyPress profile on the site, in order for that to work, you do need to come down here, and you can actually leave this one unchecked, but you do need to check off these two. Okay, this is what puts them into the profile in your BuddyPress theme. So it allows s2Member to take what you configure here and not only integrate it with WordPress, but also integrate it with BuddyPress. So that's key. Registration profile fields with s2Member, highly recommend that. This other option here, this would be for people who have, what I would consider, have made the mistake of trying to use both, where you have fields configured with BuddyPress up here, where you've gone to users, profile fields, you set up fields there, and then somewhere along the way you also set up fields here with s2Member. Checking this box, what it will do is it assumes in this case, if I check that, it's saying, okay, any fields that I configure with s2Member, I want those to be blended together on my BuddyPress registration form, which again, I'm not using in this example, but if I was, it would blend those into the default BuddyPress registration form. So not suggested, but you can see there are some different ways to go about this. Next, the login welcome page. under s2Member General Options. A little different when BuddyPress is installed. I generally do not set up the typical login welcome page whenever I'm running BuddyPress. Instead, I use this additional field down here. It's optional. It can come in handy with BuddyPress. It's called a special redirection URL. With BuddyPress, there's already like an account overview page built into all BuddyPress themes. And it always follows the member's slug followed by the user's username in WordPress. So whatever username they selected when they signed up. Okay, s2Member provides several replacement codes. You can click this link for a full list. But using this format here brings s2Member in line with existing functionality already provided by BuddyPress. So this is what I recommend that you choose. You can just follow this verbatim. Type this into your installation of s2Member, and let's see how it works. Let's log out and then log in as a would-be customer. Boom, there it is, members, customer. Ha, that was sure easy. That's the current user login replacement code. This is what BuddyPress is going to use, and this is so nice because here the customer has an overview of everything that they are doing on your social platform, including that profile we were just looking at. There's the profile fields that I've set up with s2Member. I can edit them here on the front end of the site. Very nice. Now let's look at how to specify that certain areas of your BuddyPress installation will be off limits to non-paying customers. In other words, how to say, okay, this specific functionality is not going to be available unless you are a paying customer. In BuddyPress, you have a little bit different situation because most of the content in BuddyPress is very dynamic. And instead of having just posts and pages, you have different areas of the site that are driven by what I'm going to label in this video as a URI. That's the actual terminology that you should be used, but just to clarify what I mean, a URI is everything that follows in the address bar after the host name. That is a URI. So if there was a query string here, like a lot of variables after a question mark, everything that appears after the host name, in most BuddyPress installations, it's usually just a slug or two. Like this, you'd have groups / a specific name of a group. That is how BuddyPress serves its content based on the current URI. So, for example, if I go to the Activity tab, see, that is the Activity URI. If I go to the Members tab, the Members URI. Another way to look at this is to go up here to this menu when BuddyPress is installed and just hover over these little links. These are all like parent-child relationships. And you can see this is Members, JSON, Groups. JSON being the currently logged in user. That's me. And then if I go over here, that's Members, JSON, Groups, Groups invites, Groups create. So this is how you will protect content, protect some of the areas of your installation with s2Member is you need to look at the URIs. So let's see an example. I'm going to log, actually I'm already logged in as the administrator. Let's go to the dashboard, go to s2Member restriction options. s2Member has a special functionality for BuddyPress called URI Restrictions. And there's some documentation here and some examples. But let's just do one quick example. Here I'm saying, okay, I want to require level 1 membership or higher, and on my site, level 1 is associated with paying customers, in order to access the S2 test group that I created. This is just a quick group I created to run a test. So in order to access that URI on my installation, you have to be a paying customer. All right, so let's take a quick look now at what a customer is going to see that is not a paying customer. This customer account that I created as a demo is really just a free subscriber. It says customer, but they're just a free subscriber. Just a quick demo. This person has not actually paid me yet. Okay, so if I go to groups in this account, oh, I can get there. That's nice. But now what if I want to access the S2 group? Nope, can't do that. That's because that is guarded by s2Member. This person, if they were a level 1 member, would have access. But because they're not, they're redirected to my prices and licensing page, which this is actually my membership options page whenever I configured s2Member. And on this page, you might have some sales copy. You might explain why you're asking for membership, what membership includes, how much it costs. And then here I have a link. If I click the link, it takes me to another page I created where I just popped in one of the s2Member Pro form shortcodes. So I have a checkout form. The customer's already logged in this particular scenario. So all they do is provide payment information, they complete checkout, and boom, they can go back and get into things like the group that I protected. They would then have access to. They would not be redirected again in the future if they actually complete checkout. So that's how you guard access to content with BuddyPress. Pretty simple. And as you can see, you can do a lot of things here. You could package up and say, okay, level 1 is going to give access to messages, to the activity, to the friends, and this and this and this. So you can sell different levels. You can have even custom capabilities. For any of you out there that are more experienced with s2Member, you know that there's a lot of control. And I'm going to show you in just a moment how to do things like control the navigation bar. I'm going to show that in the next segment of this video, and how you can also use what are called simple shortcode conditionals with BuddyPress. Very cool. Let's look now at the navigation bar right up here where these tabs appear, and how this is changing dynamically as I navigate through the site as a different customer, under a different count based on the membership level that I have, etc., etc. And how I actually accomplish this. I'm going to show you that. All right, it's very easy actually, but first of all, let's explain something. This particular customer, with the username customer, went to my registration, my register free tab. They went through this process, so now I'm just going to log in. Notice when I log in that the navigation bar changes. Okay, I have a lot of the functionality provided by the BuddyPress components, but I also have a prices and licensing tab. Right, and that prices and licensing page is the membership options page I've configured for s2Member. I want that to appear because this customer is not actually yet a paying customer, they're just a free subscriber. So for example, if they try to click S2 Group, they're not going to be able to access that. They're going to be redirected to the membership options page. So let's go ahead and complete checkout and see how this bar is going to change again after they complete checkout. Come down here, pop in a fake credit card number, put in that really secure verification code there, and this address, let's see, somewhere in Alaska, that's where I live. And we'll come down here, and my zip code here is 999. Haha. All right, submit this to the payment gateway. It'll take just a moment to update, and the customer is going to gain access. Now it'll say here, log back in. The customer, this is to help clarify for the customer what's just happened. Normally a customer will click this link, go through, log back in, they'll be taken back to their account. It kind of allows the customer to know that the account's been updated, but actually it's already updated. So you don't really need to do that. It's not a must thing. You don't have to do it. Just go back to S2 Group. Now I can access it. I'm a paying customer. But let's look here. Look at the navigation bar. I don't have prices and licensing here anymore. I have my subscription. So that's pretty nice. I can go to a subscription page where I can update my billing info and cancel my subscription. These are all powered by s2Member Pro Forms. All right, how did I accomplish that? Very simple. Let's log out, and I'm going to show you the dashboard, how I actually did this. So another plugin, Menu Items Visibility Control. That is the trick to this. I'm going to switch tabs for a moment to show you. Let's see, right here. If you search at s2member.com for plugin theme compatibility, this article will come up. It's written by me, and it lists a lot of the plugins that I recommend throughout some of my videos. Right down here you'll see, let's see, widget logic and the menu item visibility control. I'm going to show you this one real quick, and if you like it, get this one too, because these work almost exactly the same way. This one is for widgets and this one is for menu items. All right, let's flip back over here to the dashboard, and let's look under Appearance, Menus, with this plugin installed. There is the menu structure for this little demo site that I put together for the video. If we look at the My Subscription tab, you can see, there is the visibility box that is added by that plugin. And all I have to do here is type in some WordPress conditional tags. And you can pull up, there's an article in the WordPress Codex about these conditional tags, and there's also documentation throughout s2Member about the current user can conditional tag. So all we're doing here is we're saying, okay, My Subscription, this tab will only appear if the current user can access level 1 in s2Member. So perfect. That did not appear before I paid. It did appear after I paid. That's exactly what we wanted. Here at the Prices and Licensing tab, I do the exact opposite by negating that conditional. Here, the Prices and Licensing tab will appear if the user cannot access s2Member level 1. If you look at the Register Free tab, this is saying if the user is not logged in, then I will show Register Free. So this is how I can control my navigation menu dynamically based on the current status of whoever is looking at the site. Very cool functionality. And again, Widget Logic, another plugin, allows you to do the same thing. It works almost the exact same way with your widgets. Very, very helpful. It's time to wrap all this up. Simple shortcode conditional is one of the last things that you can do on a website to make it even more dynamic. I'll just touch on this here. There's a separate video and separate documentation at s2Member.com. Search for simple shortcodes. Lots of information here, lots of examples. Basically, all you're doing here is wrapping some of your content and saying, okay, show this if the current user cannot access level 1, show this if they can. Really cool functionality. Works a lot like what we were just looking at with the menu items, only you do it right inside a post or a page. So see here on this page, if the current user cannot access level 1, I show a link to upgrade. If they can, I show the update billing info and the cancel subscription link. For example, if I'm an administrator, I'm going to see those two links because as an administrator, I can access anything. So that's BuddyPress and s2Member really in a nutshell. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, a lot of ways to go about it. Hopefully this will serve as some food for thought. I wish you the best of luck. Go out there and make some money.
I can't sleep tonight. I can't sleep tonight.